Hey there, have you made any choices yet? Have you made a decision? Do you know what you're doing?
We got a list of items we're looking at, so we're making some progress. So
yeah, not really.
So welcome to the second episode in the journey to buying a fifth wheel. Today we're going to talk about type and brand and some of the pros and cons and how we got to. So stick around and we'll see you on the other side.
Okay, so I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off first. We are looking at either an Alliance or a Brinkley. Those are the two brands that we're considering at this point.
After many, many months of looking.
We've looked at everything. We've walked through thousands of RVs at this point. We are looking at Alliance or Brinkley.
Right. Based on the
build quality, customer service, the way that they answer things on the Facebook pages, way people that we know that own them feel about them.
Right.
Yeah.
And floor plan.
And floor plan. Yeah, oh, yeah, floor plan. Some of the branches got knocked out by, I can't. First of all, that's an RV. Like, you walk in and you're like, this doesn't feel like a home. This is just like a motor home that doesn't have a motor. So there were some that got knocked out because we just didn't find a floor plan that we liked. They were quality RVs. Really nice. Some of them were super nice and we couldn't find a floor plan we liked.
Right.
And then some of them were just not the quality that we wanted if we were going to be dragging it around the US.
Right.
And then there's also going to be some that we have major concerns with just because of issues that their customers have had. We'll put it that way. And so some different people were knocked off, different brands were knocked off for different reasons. The brands that we're looking at are Alliance and Brinkley.
Yep. So shall we, couples coach, toy hauler, I don't even know, I don't even remember. I know that there's other floor styles, but we came down pretty quickly to couples coach or toy hauler.
Yeah, well, we have a couple non-couples coach, like family type coaches on here too. But we refer to anything that's not a toy hauler as a couples coach. That's not correct, but that's when we start talking, that's what we're talking about, not a toy hauler.
Right.
So for Alliance, we are looking at the 340RL, the 370FB, and the 395DS.
And then on the Brinkley side, over the last couple of months, the 3100, and then more recently, the 3515 and the 3300.
Yeah, and that one's like super recent. You're gonna go like, whoa! This video was filmed soon. Right. With that one coming in, that one came in like last week, just to our decision-making process last week.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the. You want to do Brinkley first or Alliance?
We can do either one. What do you want to do first?
Okay, so let's start with the Alliance. So the 340RL.
I love that coach.
At one point, if we had the truck available, you would have bought that 340RL that was at that show in Raleigh.
I would have. It would have not. It would have
come
left
home
with
us.
me. Yeah, would have.
And
if they could have sold me a Ford at that show, they both would have come home with me.
Right. And so the 340RL, the reason behind that one was
because the staircase up to the bedroom is on the non-camp side. It's on the other side of the RV. So your bedroom feels very, very private. Because when people are walking into your coach, they're not looking up the hall straight into your bedroom. Now, the downside of that is also that the head of your bed is facing the hallway, right? So when you go up the hallway, you see the head of the bed. So some people feel like it's less private than the other, but I felt like it was more of a little retreat up there where if I needed to get away from everybody, I wasn't peopling at that moment, I could.
Right.
I just really I like the layout of it. I like the kitchen. I like the bathroom. Right. I like the colors that they're using right now are gorgeous. Right. I think it's the 2025 that they've gone very soft colors in the Paradigm series. And then the next one, the 370FB, is a front bath model. Also feels very, very private.
Right.
You walk up the steps on the campsite of the coach. You've got a You go straight into the bedroom.
Right, straight into the bedroom.
Right?
But the bath on the other side is huge, right?
Yeah.
Definitely spa-like, very residential.
Yeah. So this is one I could live in forever.
Right.
And I think that's part of the intrigue of this one is it's like being in a house. You go up there and it's like you have a big primary bedroom up there with a huge walk-in closet in the front.
Right.
It's beautiful. So that one's high up on my list. And you can sleep 2 extra adults that aren't married, that aren't, sleeping in the same bed. We'll just put it that way. My dad and my sister, right?
Because of the 2 couches.
There's 2 couches that fold out. So right. It actually is a solution right. for the Alaska issue. So, right. and there's a powder room. All these things add up to being
right. And the powder
really solid family coach for us.
And the powder room in that 370FB is on the main floor.
Right, so no steps up to that powder room,
right.
which make it easier for my dad at night. That gives us some peace when we're asleep, that he's going to have less chance of falling.
Right.
And then we have the 395 DS, which came in relatively recently. I think we saw it for the first time right before the Raleigh show.
Right.
Or if we walked through it in the Raleigh show, we didn't really pay attention to it. Right. Maybe that's what it was.
2 full suites.
It has 2 full bedrooms. And I almost like the back bedroom better than the front bedroom.
Right.
Like, we had a great debate on which bedroom we would actually use as our bedroom.
Right.
They're both really nice. Has a loft area above the back area, too. So if you had kids, this would be the ultimate,
family.
Like, mom and dad, one of the grandparents, and all the grandkids up above, the bedroom. It would be a great family unit.
Right.
And it would work really well for us too, for Alaska.
Right.
But I don't know that it would work really well for us after Alaska.
Right. Without a lot of modifications, right?
Yeah.
I mean, having an entire extra, completely separate queen size bed, the extra shower and ensuite for just 2 people seems overkill, right? And we could make it into an office, but the bed is kind of built in, right? So you'd have to take the bed out, and there'd be a lot of construction, and I'm not really handy that way, right? So we'd probably have to pay someone to do that. So a lot of extra costs, and so we actually looked for a while. Angela found a couple who were used. That were in really good shape, that were, just, 100 miles or so away from here. But we didn't have the truck at that point, and so we really couldn't go work on buying them. And by the time we got to the point that we had the truck, they were off the market. But
yeah, I would consider one of those used.
Right.
I don't know that I would invest in a new one because
we're not going to keep it for a long time.
We wouldn't be keeping it for very long. Like, that would be a 2-year max type situation, and then we would be looking at
right.
a smaller RV or a toy hauler.
Right.
So those were the 3 Alliance couples coaches we were looking at. Do we want to go to Brinkley couple coaches and keep it on the same?
Tell you what, why don't we do the Alliance toy haulers?
And then the toy haulers for Alliance.
Right.
So my favorite Alliance toy hauler is the 44V14. It has 2 sofas that make an L in it, which is works well for us. The kitchen was fine. It's fine. It's a kitchen. It's
toy
not
hauler, right?
It's a toy hauler.
Toy haulers, you're normally compromising somewhere.
You're compromising on living space on toy haulers most of the time to get a garage. So it has a happy jack in the back, which means my dad and my sister could both have their own bed. There's a toilet back there, a half bath back there. So that's helpful because bathroom on the same floor. So it checked that one off too. And then the front bedroom is fine. Mm-hmm. It's nice, actually. I like the front bedroom. And then there's the bath.
the primary bath, right?
Which I'm not finding a lot of pros in. It's my least favorite of the bathrooms. All Alliance toy haulers have the same bedroom and bathroom up on the upstairs. So it didn't matter which Alliance toy hauler that we went to, we would have to overcome the bath. And I really don't want to get 3 years into this and be selling a brand new unit. a unit that we bought new, right? So once again, you could look for one that's used. I have not had a lot of luck finding a used one that, is in the condition that we want it to be in. And that's a big caveat. But also, the good news is there are some on the market, but not a lot, which means that people like their toy hauler, right? And that means it's a good brand. So it's one of those situations where I will deal with the bathroom for the price, if the price becomes important to us if we're buying a toy hauler.
The price on the Valors compared to the
good.
Brinkleys is gives you a little bit of room for doing some post modification right away if you wanted to. That just seems kind of strange. Little. I just bought this. I'm modifying it, but many people do it, and I get over it.
And that's a lot of it. Looking at it, I can look at it and say it has good bones. It's well built. I can modify it. I can't change the floor plan of the bathroom, right?
Right.
But I can modify the colors, and if that's the only thing that's irritating me, that is a can of paint. And I am not afraid to put the elbow work in to change it after we get back from Alaska.
Right.
So that's an option that's available for us.
Right.
And I do like the price of the Valor, just to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's a great value.
It's a great value. It is a terrific value. Okay. Then let's talk Brinkley. You want to talk for a minute?
Sure. So the 3100, love the floor plan, right? It's got the big kitchen in it.
Yeah, it's the quintessential couples coach, and it does have an awesome kitchen to cook in.
Right. It's got the big U-shaped couch, right?
No, it has two. It has a couch on the back wall, right, and then the theater seats in the slide next to the dinette.
Okay. So the 3100 is a great couples coach. It's got a good layout, and you can see why it's their number one selling floor plan, right?
Oh yeah.
The next one was the 3515, right? Which we love that back entrance, right? It's kind of strange or it's non-traditional, I guess. It's got a entrance door on the non-camp side, right? So it's almost like the homes that you see in the Northeast where the old home's been converted into the doctor or the attorney's office, and they've got a side door that is the entrance
straight into the office,
right? Straight into the office, right? Really cool. I mean, we both looked at that the first time and went, "Oh my! Can you imagine backing up to a lake and having a desk there and not being able to get any work done because of the view?" And then the immediate thought was, can you imagine not being backed up to a lake and backing up into a neighbor's, yard and seeing them and not being able to work because of what you're seeing?
The view. Yeah,
so either way, that view out the back is going to be distracting, but that big standing desk. And
we also had the conversation of who gets the desk in the back.
Right.
Right, because we can't both work back there at the same time. So one of us will be on the dinette out in the living room and one would be in the back, but it gives us that mudroom type of entrance that we can bring the kids in with and keep, our kids are four-legged, right? And keep the dusty, muddy paws in one place.
Right.
And keep all of their stuff back there. Hi, Miss Ada. How do you feel about that? She would like you to know she just wants her mommy and daddy to decide which RV she gets to ride in because she's the princess.
Or better yet, stop talking to the people who aren't in the room and take me for a walk.
Well, there's that too, isn't there? You are very cute.
Okay, off.
I'll stop petting her so she gets off.
Good girl, off.
And then the third choice that came out really recently that I am completely in love with and probably has eclipsed both of the previous two Brinkleys we've talked about is the 3300. I never thought I would consider buying a rear kitchen fifth wheel because of the bounce at the back of the fifth wheel and those big refrigerators sitting where it's bouncing. And then I saw that one and I'm like, yeah, I would try that one and see if it worked.
And before you say wine fridge, that what you really need to be saying is full-size dishwasher.
Well, apartment-sized dishwasher. But still, where the little teeny, the dorm fridge is, you can take that out. It's already wired for a full apartment-size dishwasher. So, big one, right? Yeah, that would be lovely. I think you can put, somebody else said you could put a all-in-one washer-dryer there, but I would put the dishwasher there. Right. No doubt.
We talked about what we would do for getting to Alaska. So in the 3100, how do we get to Alaska there with the
crowbar?
Crowbar. Okay. 3515 I think is also crowbarish.
They're all crowbar, 3 of them.
Right.
Although I think the 3300, one of the reasons that I'm looking that one intrigues me is I'm pretty sure I can put a blow-up mattress down in between the desk and the island, and that it'll fit and won't be claustrophobic. Okay. So I think I can fit all 4 adults in the 3300 in a 1 bathroom. We are all family situation. Right.
So those are definitely leaning more towards us, and as Matt says, the non-paying customers get what they get.
Yeah. Okay. That is very true.
So on the toy hauler side.
So let's talk about the toy haulers that before this year that we would have looked at from Brinkley.
Right. Okay.
That would have been the 3950 and the 4000.
Right. Right.
Okay. So the 3950, the first time we saw that one was in Richmond over a year ago. And we walked in and went, whoa, like this is a toy hauler?
Right.
This is an RV. It looks like a house, and a high-end house at that. Love the colors, love the way it looks, and it was one of those. This is really nice. We're never buying it. Yeah. So that was the first one. We like the U-shaped couch. They only had a U-shape at that point, but we like the U-shaped couch. Right. And the kitchen is a little small, but I can look at it and say, okay, 2 people can work in this kitchen. You're going to have a zone that you're working in. You're going to do zone defense. But you could actually have 3 people if you're doing zone defense in that kitchen. You just have to all be able to work as a team. So it's not as bad of a kitchen as it looks like when you're first in there. Like we've spent a lot of time just standing in that kitchen going, would it work? Because I like the 65-inch TV and the big U-shaped sofa. Right. Okay. And then the downside to that one, when you go into the back, because the bedroom is great and the bathroom upstairs is completely beautiful, right? The downside to this one comes in the back, and that Murphy sink. Am I allowed to tell them my feelings on the Murphy sink?
I think it's important, so go ahead.
Okay. And we may have people clicking off on this one, but stick with me for a second here. We're only going to talk about it once. Murphy sinks. You go to the restroom, you stand up, you go to wash your hands. You touch the outside of the Murphy sink, you wash your hands. When you close the sink, you touch the outside of the Murphy sink again. Which means your hands are no longer clean. I mean, you can get around it a little bit with some Clorox cleanups, guys, but that's pretty bad cross-contamination, and I'm not going to say I'm going to be judging you when you're walking through my RV. I'm just saying, and then I'll, at some point be going back to the back to make sure people are actually using Clorox cleanups. So just know, if we have a Murphy sink and you come to stay with us, you better be using the Clorox cleanups.
So I thought of something. You could actually leave the Murphy sink down. And then the next person comes in to go to the bathroom, raises the sink, uses the bathroom.
It's still cross-contamination unless it's the same person going in to go to the bathroom.
But they're getting ready to wash their hands and, leave with clean hands. So anyway, okay. Don't know if I made that better or worse.
I don't know. I'm just... Yeah.
But the thing
now
is
you know way too much about me, guys. Like, this just got way into the way I think. So, yeah. So that's I have some issues, some sanitary concerns when it comes to the Murphy sink.
Right.
And I would have to work them out, but I would work them out. If I own one, I'll work it out, guys. It'll be great.
Right.
Everything else about that thing, I completely love. I mean, down to the 2 gas tanks and having, you know, the water filters already there and having the air thingy already, the, you know,
Air compressor.
Yeah. The air tire filler wrapper already on your vehicle and all that. What it comes on it just completely floors me. So yeah,
Right.
that one. And then we have the 4000, which I think is your favorite.
Was
your favorite. Well, of the ones before, right? That one has a waterfall counter in the kitchen that you can kind of pull up, and there's a little metal thing, and you set the waterfall countertop down on it, and you end up with this absolutely enormous U-shaped kitchen that you can also use the waterfall part as like your eating area. There's like little stools that you can use there because there's not a dinette. Okay.
See, and for us,
this is perfect for us.
the dinette is just something that I have too many bad memories of this tiny little, 23-foot travel trailer that in the summers, we traveled down from Pennsylvania to Florida when we were back in the States, being pulled on the back of a 71 Nova, and you'd go to slide in to that awful orange couch cushion, and the bottom of it was bare wood, and you'd get splinters moving into that dinette. So I don't care what dinette, I don't care if it's made out of solid marble. I just have too many flashbacks to that awful dinette. And if I can buy an RV without a dinette, I'm going to be very happy, right? Because I hate it. For us, we'll be honest. 90% of the time when we eat dinner, we're eating on the couch, right? The kitchen table is something we eat at when we have guests. So to have the dinette is in my mind, they're not well executed. They're tight. They're shoehorned in, and they're perfect if you're 8 years old sitting there doing homework. But for an adult, it's just not comfortable.
So now you know too much about the way both of us think. Okay, so we liked both of those, and they were both options. Okay, and then this year the 3970 came out,
right,
which gave me that kitchen dining room area that I like. And a full bathroom in the back with no Murphy sink. So obviously that replaced my 3950 in my mind because I'm like, I don't have to deal with the Murphy sink.
Right.
And then the other one that came out that I really, really like is a 4100. The 4100 is like the 3100 with a garage. And the only negative I can find in that entire coach is that it has a Murphy sink. One negative.
Right.
Well, price. But Brinkley doesn't want me to say that. So, yeah. That would be a downside for all Brinkleys. On the con side, price is always going to be listed there.
Right.
But I'm not saying the price isn't worth it. You have to choose what's worth it to you and what's not. Right?
So we're down to Alliance versus Brinkley. We've gone through kind of pros and cons of each of them, and unfortunately at this point we need to get down to a decision because if we are going to get to Alaska and we're going to order, we need to get this
order at the latest by the Tampa RV show.
Right. So that's kind of it. And all the salespeople who have talked to us across Richmond and Charlotte and online, we appreciate your patience. We appreciate you letting us ask all of these questions, and we promise we're getting to a decision.
We promise. So we did tell everybody when they said, when are you looking to buy? And I said, it's going to be 14 spreadsheets and a lot of calculations. Like, you need to understand it's going to take a while. We don't buy anything without multiple spreadsheets. Right.
So that's, I think this kind of wraps up episode 2 of this.
Yep. So next episode is going to be what?
We'll be talking about hopefully what decisions we've made.
Okay.
So Thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing phase 3 and figuring out what we actually, if we make a decision and what we've actually going to try and buy, hit the subscribe button so that you get notified. And with that, thanks for watching. We appreciate you being here and joining us on our journey through our decision process. And we'll see you the next time.